It's Stephanie and Derek Evelo here with the Evelo team at Keller Williams Realty. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for our contractor panel. We're excited to do this. This is the first one we're kicking off, and we're excited to have some special guests here with us tonight. And we're just going to have a conversation here tonight, and hopefully that you'll gain some information to take back and put into practice for your own home, whatever you're trying to do to update, upgrade for the spring market, the spring or summer selling market, if you're looking to sell your home, or even if you're just looking to update and upgrade. We hope you gain something out of this from all of these special people here with us. So I'm going to run through it very quickly, but we've got Stanley Landscape Group, we've got Her Home Design, SPG Roofing and Exteriors, and Stony Creek Fence Company. And we'll be going through each one of those, and we'll provide all the information at the end so that you can contact them directly. And please let them know that you did hear about it here from the Evelo team if you do reach out, because we always like to hear how people hear about us. So,
and we want bonus points. So there
yes,
you go.
We want all of these,
Yep.
These wonderful individuals to think highly of the Evelo team, also sending them some business. So let's get started. Derek.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to get started with our interior designers, which is Megan and Kieanna, and with Her Home Design. And we're just going to start with you guys first. So tell us what type of services you guys offer.
Okay.
What is it that you guys do?
I'll start, Meg, if you don't mind. So Her Home Design is a full service design build firm, which means we're a one-stop shop for all things home. We could do everything from the initial conceptual drawings of the home to designing the finishes and fixtures and everything needed for the home, to remodeling the home, to staging the home, to furnishing the home. And our goal is to be a one-stop shop, so we could do it all.
Fantastic. Yeah, I know even when we were building our custom home years ago that we had someone come over because trying to pick out some interior brick and colors and matching. I didn't want to have at the end go, oh shoot, that was like 1 or 2 shades off of what we should have chose, right?
Absolutely.
And here we are, and here we are in the real estate business, but that does not mean that real estate agents are interior designers. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
right.
I understand
That's
that,
for
but
sure.
I will make a clarification. We don't do roofs and we don't do fences. So more power to all of our colleagues, our partner vendors here on the call today. We do not do roofs and we don't do fences. So
we can do the color, but we don't do the install.
right, absolutely not. You're all
absolutely.
scared of heights.
There you go. Here you go. And Megan, do you have anything else to piggyback off that you'd like to throw in there?
Sure. Yeah. Something for spring and summer that we hear a lot is people are like, okay, the paint on the house looks a little sad. Need to get that updated. So paint colors for the exterior and interior, we can really help with. I personally enjoy doing color consults. It's just so much fun. So
Absolutely.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. And one of the other questions is what are some of the small upkeep services that you guys get calls about?
Oh my gosh, all day long we get calls about paint. We get calls about doors. We recently had a client who needed her closet doors changed out. She felt like her entry needed a pop. So we went over, got her some really cool geometric modern closet doors, changed them out in a couple of hours. She's thrilled. Whole entryway looks totally different. So from very, very small projects to very, very big projects, we can do it all.
Excellent. And what would you guys say as far as if you're considering different projects, like what's the percentage of people doing kind of smaller projects, just like you talked about, compared to people that are doing complete overhauls on houses?
Well, if you had asked me this question last year, I would have said the percentage of our business, or even the year before, the percentage of our business that were doing overhauls was like 80, because people were sitting in their house during COVID and they were like, oh my God, I hate this sofa. And every time they looked at it, they got madder. And then they're like, oh, and I hate these walls, and I hate these floors, and I hate this lighting. But
yeah, I bet COVID did change a lot of interiors.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody was sitting around looking at everything and talking about everything they wanted to change and rearrange for sure.
Boy, did they, and they did it all. But now reality is set back in. People's budgets are more realistic, and we are starting to get calls for smaller changes as opposed to get it all out. We're getting calls for how can we make baby steps toward, which is more realistic and normal for us.
Right, right.
So
Right.
give us a little bit of idea, because I'm sure consumers are wanting to know, like, pricing, like, is it per hour, per project? How do you get compensated for what you do?
So initially, if it's interior design, we get compensated per hour. We do a $3.99 consultation fee that gets the homeowner 2 meetings, 1 meeting on site at their home, 1 meeting on site at our home, where we show you our HGTV moment and bring it all to life on the screen. So it all starts with the free initial 15-minute virtual conversation, and then it moves to $3.99 for a couple of hours on site. And then from there, it really is what you make it. We work around, we pride ourselves on being affordable. So we work around budgets of all sorts.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear, because yes,
Yeah.
we have sold houses at $28,000 and at 3.2 million. So any and all in
Same.
between. So we appreciate hearing that, because yes, we've got people's all different needs.
Well, and I think a good aspect of it is that you can do things in stages, just kind of like landscaping and different things. You don't have to do it
Absolutely.
all at once. You can do baby steps to get, a
Absolutely.
couple years down the line, then you can be at the end result. So, and I think that's good for people to know as well. So,
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
well, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys sharing. And of course, at the end, we'll be sharing everybody's contact information, so they'll know exactly how to get a hold of you. Anything that you want to share before we move to the next?
Megan, talk about our new website.
Oh, yes. So we also have a retail store at our location at the corner of Zionsville Road and 73rd Street. So we have our new website that's on, where people can shop some of our smaller candles, gifts, little things like that. But we also have some of our furniture that we sell. Since we're a wholesaler, people can come buy furniture from us. And what's great with that space that we have at our studio is that you could come and sit in some of the furniture, so you can test it out before you purchase. Because we know that's a big thing since COVID. We've lost a lot of furniture stores, and people are like, but I want to sit in it before I buy it, please.
Right,
Right.
absolutely.
Yes.
That space is perfect.
Understood. Fantastic. Well,
Yes.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
thank you,
being here.
ladies.
And we'll go next with Adam introducing.
Hey, Jackson, glad you could join us today. Before we get started, too many questions, can you give us kind of an overview of services you provide and the kind of work that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I work with SPG Roofing and Exteriors. I'm one of their field representatives. We are primarily a roofing contractor. However, we handle everything from siding to windows, gutters, which I guess if backing up into the siding, it includes everything with your trim or paint, kind of going back off of Megan. A lot of paint questions that from a lot of our clients. But yeah, we handle everything from the residential side all the way to the commercial side. We take care of small repairs that are small, kind of one-off things, whether it's, hey, I've got a rotten trim board here, or I need to touch this up, or one missing shingle here, or things like that, all the way up to, I think we're currently working on a job that's over $9 million. So large range. We're a pretty, I would say, large company. So there's a broad width of what we can handle and take care of in the exterior realm of somebody's property.
Okay.
Wow.
And you were at Stephanie, did you have something?
Oh, no, I was just thinking about, because most recently here with all of the wind damage and stuff, and I'm sure that, yes, you're getting lots of calls and intakes from stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, and because it's spring, everybody likes that, like, renewed time, right? So they're probably a refresh. They're probably thinking, yeah, so should I continue the same color of roof and gutters or whatever, or should I, go with some kind of different combination? Or I've already heard literally in the last 2 weeks some people talking about that very thing. So,
Which a little quick side note on, if anybody is in the midst of an insurance claim and because they have roof damage or siding damage or gutter damage, that actually is a really great time to use what insurance is provided to really switch things up, essentially using it as a budget. Some of my favorite jobs that I've ever worked on are not jobs where somebody's like, cool, I have a brown roof, let's go back with the brown roof. I have brown gutters, let's go back with brown gutters. Like, just gave me the same plain Jane kind of
Right.
product.
Right. Keep it
But
simple.
the customers that really maximize ultimately their dollar by taking the insurance funds and maybe spending a little bit extra beyond that to really do something phenomenal with their home, from a color standpoint, from a design or texture standpoint, from a product durability standpoint, so on and so forth. So that's actually a good point with a lot of these clients that are dealing with wind damage from the tornadoes. I mean, our office was a block from the Whiteland tornado, and I mean, there's homes that are missing,
Right.
Yeah.
just a block from our office.
Wow.
And I would hope to think, Jackson, even maybe if they had a little bit of money left over, they can call the nice ladies on
Her-
here and see if they
her
can
home design.
get a
Yeah.
little interior
Try to
action in there.
coordinate it all together, make sure it
Sure.
looks good. Because I mean, it's all those times where you know that the homeowner did not get a professional involved, and you drive by the home and then you look and you're like, that color scheme just didn't quite hit the mark, you know? And it's like, sure wish they would have talked to us or talked to someone professional who knows, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
And there are
that's
also
great.
too huge upsides in working with a contractor like myself in an insurance claim. We don't really pride ourselves as insurance specialists just because
Right.
there's a little bit of a negative image that is
Right.
followed with
Mhm.
that. We're primarily retail focused and trying to educate a lot of our customers on what are the different options, what are the different benefits, what's the upside to this product versus this product, and how can we really tool in a price and not just say, cool, we'll take what insurance is giving and go back with the same thing.
Yeah.
But the added benefit in using a contractor who does know how to work with insurance is that we know what insurance should pay for to a certain extent.
Yep.
Right.
And, I mean, I've worked on claims where it started out at $2,000, and by the end of it, it magically increased to like $40,000 of coverage just because
Holy mackerel.
insurance missed things.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
huge spread.
Very big.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
And
So go ahead.
Adam, any other questions?
Well, you were in our team meeting earlier this week, and you talked a little bit about wood rot, and we were really interested in some of these services and some of the things you have to talk about. And I'm not sure if that was in the siding and the decking. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'll start off by saying we do not do decking or
Okay.
fences. I'll leave that.
Or
behind.
fences.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm in the
But,
decking underneath the shingles.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yes.
got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you're absolutely correct. Wood rot did come up in our conversations as it is a common line item that you see in home inspections as you guys are looking at selling your house or buying a house, because it's one of those things that's it's an eyesore. It's really easy to see. It's common everywhere because of just lack of maintenance on a home or due to improper instruction. More often than not, it's actually due to improper instruction, not the proper uses of flashings and other details to help keep water away from trim boards on your siding or like around the windows or your fascia or whatnot. But yeah, so we like I said at the beginning, we handle small things and we handle large things. But when it comes to wood repairs for your trim boards on the house, that's something that we can definitely take care of. But I think the big value, especially if anybody is looking to buy a house or is looking to sell a house, if they want to avoid that ugly line item that acts as a little bit of point of contention in that the sale of the home, because it feels like an easy ask, then definitely have us out beforehand and we can really diagnose the property, let you know what's going on. If it's just a superficial issue, which a lot of wood rot can be, but I've also seen wood rot where it's way more extensive, and you're gonna have to dig into more than just the trim board. You'll have to get into the sheathing on the home or the framing members or things like that. That is not stuff you want to find out in the middle of your sale. So
Right. And I feel like wood rot also has a negative connotation, like you were saying earlier. People hear it and they think, oh man, it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily the case. How often do you find that it's actually a superficial, easy fix compared to something that is actually detrimental?
Yeah, I would say a majority of the time there are certain areas on the home where wood rot is consistent and it does spell larger issues. I would say the most common place where that is found is within a chimney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Place
Mhm.
where it can run rampant and nobody ever sees it because it's a structure that stands alone to some regard, and homeowners don't see the issue until it's way past a place where you're just coming in and saying, cool, let's just replace one trim board. It looks like we have to rebuild this entire chimney.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So one last question that consumers might be thinking or asking is, so what do you see or find is maybe the most common exterior that people are choosing these days?
Ooh, good question. And in terms
Or
of
is there,
for
Like
the
it's-
yeah, if they're replacing or upgrading
Are you
or
talking about roof or siding or what?
just exteriors? I was just
Okay.
thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any specific, like, I'm thinking about different materials because I know there's all different types
Gotcha.
of materials, right?
yeah,
Like wood, brick, vinyl.
yeah, real
Yeah,
quick,
so-
I'll say as far as roofing, it's there's a lack of understanding in the different products that are out there. People think asphalt roof is asphalt roof, and so you see a lot of asphalt roof replacement recommendations or interests. Which, quick side blurb on that, we recently switched to Malarkey roofing, which is a polymer modified shingle, which is getting technical, but there is a very distinct difference in shingle manufacturers, and Malarkey has really taken the time to make sure that they're giving a proper justice to the quality and condition of the shingle that people aren't aware of. You look at, for example, car tires. One car tire looks like the next car tire, but you know that they perform completely different, and the price point is also not the same. But asphalt roofing, gutters, pretty standard. People aren't generally asking for any kind of big changes there. If they are, they want the half round gutters or the round downspouts.
Or different colors.
Or different colors for sure.
I'm debating on a different color on a building right now. So see, you never
Yeah.
know.
With siding, that's actually a pretty fun one. It's not as common to see people switching families of products, if you will. So if they have vinyl on their home, they're probably in a vinyl neighborhood, and so they feel like they're not going to get the ROI out of the home if they
Right.
switch to hardy or some kind of hardboard product.
Mhm. Right.
But fun little thing that is different in the market, Certainty, which is a manufacturer of vinyl siding, has recently come out this year, actually this April, with a hardboard imitation product that looks actually amazing. And so it's a little bit more expensive than your normal vinyl, but it's not quite the jump
Wow.
in price point. But yeah, so people aren't generally switching families, but if they are switching their siding, so updating it or just switching it out, what is really common is that people are mixing designs. So if they have a house that has all horizontal siding, they're incorporating horizontal siding with shake or with board and batten, and they're separating 2-story walls with a band board that has lap siding on the bottom and it has shake on
Right.
top.
And
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
it looks like both of our ladies on the panel are like in a full agreement on that one.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes, the
ladies?
design. Well, that's what I was gonna say. That I know that there's different exteriors that are more popular and that, and for resale, right? If people are thinking about selling or making any changes or doing any updates or upgrades, that, this is all flowing right in perfect timing, because as people are
Yeah.
preparing to go on the market here. Yes.
And as people redo the insides and exteriors of the house, to keep the kids and pets in, that's, you obviously need a fence, which brings me to my next person, last but not least, Mr. John Baute, with
Stony Creek.
Stony
Fencing
Creek
Company.
Fencing. I just lost it there for a second. John, tell us about the types of fencing that you guys install.
All right, so we mainly, probably our number one fence would be a wood fence. So that could be your pressure treated pine or the cedar. So those would be our two most popular as far as the wood goes. And we do a lot of vinyl as well. So the aluminum wrought iron style is also popular. And then kind of our last one on the list would be chain link. So those would be our main offerings we have. And we've done some composites, but they are definitely on the upper scale pricey side. So we don't do as many of those. Those kind of scare people off sometimes.
Well, and you know, as well as I, a lot of it is dictated by the homeowners associations in your houses in your
Correct.
different neighborhoods, because most newer neighborhoods will not allow chain link or
Correct.
even coated chain link. They
Yep.
want the wood or the aluminum wrought iron or
Right.
things like that. So a lot of it is dependent upon that. And
Correct.
explain to us how pricing is done. Is it done just by the square feet, or how is that all done?
Great question. So for us, we do it by the linear foot. So
Linear
slight
foot. Okay.
footage, but it's very similar. So ours is based off of that. We plug our material labor into that and get a final price. And then we also have, for how many gates. So if they're going to do a single gate versus a double gate, that's going to have a little different price points as well. But those are the main ways that we do price our fencing.
And areas, like what areas do you cover? Pretty much all of central Indiana? Are there certain areas that you like to try to hone in on, just geographical wise?
I would just for our team, the easiest for everybody to get to, and it just seems to work out the best. Hamilton County works really well, but we do go over into Zionsville and even Avon and Brownsburg. So most of central Indiana is good. We've done either the south side of Indy as well, but and we even go up as far as Muncie and kind of around. So it's a pretty good size area, but yeah, something usually within home base about an hour and 15 minutes, kind of max of travel time.
Okay.
And what you just described is basically the circumference of our team, right?
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
basically all of central Indiana, which is kind of where everybody tends to focus and
Correct.
covers. So,
Yeah.
which is why we wanted to make sure to offer these opportunities out for north, south, east, or west, whichever ways, anywhere they want to go, that we've got somebody that we can connect them up with. So.
Yeah. And is there anything else that you'd want to share on here just for people? I mean, obviously there's, lots of fencing companies out there and different things.
Sure.
Like why do you guys think you stand above everybody else?
Honestly, so what we get told from our clients is that even if we mess up, we communicate. So we either own our mess ups or even just in general, like we hear all the time, like, oh, you actually returned our call. So if we miss a call, which we try not to miss any calls, we do return that call as soon as we possibly can. And then as far as kind of something I want to share is our process is slightly different as far as getting a quote and then actually getting us out there to install the fence. So our first step would be to schedule a phone call. So if they call in, our assistant Jessica is going to schedule a call with me and the homeowner. We'll go over all the different things they need. Maybe it's for pets, or that's our number one need for a fence is dogs. So we like to say we shoot for dogs most of the time, but
Right.
So we'll go through all the options, try to figure out what's best, obviously with the HOAs as well, kind of work with that. And then at that point, we use our online tool, a quote tool that we have. We call it the InstaQuote. I can get a pretty close to accurate estimate over the phone for those people, and then I will send them that quote. And then if all that sounds like a good fit for them, we will schedule this, what we call our site plan, where I'll come out and actually do the on-site consultation, make sure that the measurements are exactly right. We'll do gate placement, make sure everybody likes the whole plan, and then that helps get the team ready to go as well. So at that point, we would collect their deposit and then get them on the schedule.
Yeah, I knew you had a really simple process. So that's why we wanted to make sure you share that, because I knew that it's real easy, like for you to be able to give a quote. I can't tell you how many times, people will call someone and one, they don't even get a call back, or two, then they come out and look to give a quote and then the quote never shows up. It's like out somewhere in La La Land. So yeah, so I want to make sure people knew that it's a really simple process from you and your team, and we appreciate that.
Well, and I think for everybody to hear this, is everybody that's on the panel today are the type of people like we are, the type that will get back with you, the type that will be attentive to your needs and things like that. We are in an era right now of many different changes, but a big part of it is lack of customer service and lack of just showing up and doing anything. I mean, doing
the work.
I mean, it's unbelievable just to pull teeth to get people to come out. I'm like, are you really that busy? that you can't even return a phone call. It's ridiculous. So,
Yeah.
Which is why we have so appreciated each one of
Yes.
you and the high level of service that you provide to your clients, which is why you were invited to be on here to be shared out with our clients.
Yep.
Because our clients come first and we always want to put their needs before our own. So it's not always just about selling a home. Like we may meet with someone and it may not be in their best interest to sell a home. They maybe need to stay and be put and
and we've
not
had those
sell.
and we've
And
had
we have
those
to have those hard
conversations.
conversations with
Yep.
them. But so again, it's not always about, us and making a sale or being that part. It's about whatever is right for the client. So that's why we appreciate each one of you
Absolutely.
and thank you so much for being here. I know that we're going to end our recording now and then just have personal Q&A here afterwards. But so we just want to again say thank you so much to each one of you being here. Thank you for being in our first ever contractor panel. Thank you for being who you are and doing what you do and providing such a high level of service to our clients and friends and family and sphere. And we just pray that everybody that listens to this gets something out of it and hopefully reaches out to you for any of their summer or spring cleaning and updating, upgrading that they're doing, either personally or because if they're thinking about selling a home and need to reach out to us to help them sell it. So
Yeah.
thank you again all for being here. And as we always end,
Make each moment count.
make each moment count. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye-bye.
Guys.